leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Didn't we come on like officially like, hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives live here on Strong Island Television Paradise Studios in beautiful downtown Massapequa, New York.
Yes.
Right by the Lure. Right by the Lure. And who's
Today's show is brought to us
Tell
by
us.
Barasch and McGarry,
Again!
lawyers for the 9/11 community, and we have a special guest.
Michael Barasch is on today.
Yes, he's
our,
with us.
Here's the cool thing. He's our biggest supporter. It's like, like when you have a girlfriend or a friend that's a girl, and you're like, oh, that's my girlfriend. But, she's friendly with all the other guys.
Right.
Michael, I say, oh, he's our biggest sponsor, and he's our friend. This guy does so much for so many organizations. Yeah. I don't know if we're in the top 5. He's going to say it, but
wait.
He does so much good, this man.
See, we can see him smiling right
yes,
now.
Yes, we can see him. Thank you, Michael, for being our sponsor. Yes. We say it every week, even when you're not watching, Michael. So I'm so happy to be here because the last 3 weeks have been crap.
Yes.
In my life, it's been crap. And you try to fight yourself out, right? And you called me, to pep, bring my. You called me never. You didn't call me once.
No, I called you because Butch said you better call John.
He's in bad shape.
Yeah.
So you called me and you went. Butch told me to call you. Okay, all right, bye. And that was it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Well, I had a nice conversation with Les. Called my therapist. I mean, things are going on, but the main thing is Giovanni, my father, tearing my heart out. Oh, no. And this is a tough time for all of us. He's 90. He's a veteran. He worked 2 jobs to support his family. And I don't think he's safe at home by himself anymore. So he fell down, hospital, COVID, rehab. And now my sisters brought him up to an beautiful assisted care facility in the Poconos, though, so far away from me. But
how far from your sisters?
Close. 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
20 minutes. So they've been there almost every day since I dropped them off. But some of my cousins, it's like, hey, where did you put your father? Yeah. We moved him. We didn't put him. I'm getting all these.
He's in the Poconos. Next time you're up there,
say hello. We put him in. He's in the back of a gas station. Come on. I wouldn't put my father anywhere. So I'm going over there tomorrow, seeing the big guy.
Yeah.
My account was hacked in.
I heard.
Bada bing. They took all my money. $53 gone. But no, they took a decent amount of money, about $3,000. But the scare, and my pension is like nowhere to be found. My pension check comes the last day of the month. Is it in the old account? No. Is it in the new account? So I said to him today, where is it? Hold on. 3 phone calls, and a lady says, yeah, I think it was supposed to go into the new account.
They didn't go out.
That was it. That's all the expert after 4. I think but it's not in the account, lady. So I said, listen, call my mortgage company and just explain to them.
Yeah.
Right? They'll understand. Jeez. So pickleball starting. Bobby, can we just do a little pickleball? Get me in a mood for a little pickleball segment.
Yeah.
I played down the park today. It's my first time in a week. And the season starts on Monday, the new season.
Yeah.
There we go. Monday. That's supposed to come back so fast. Monday starts the new season with Long Island Kick. My daughter is not coming. My partner is not coming for a good reason. It's her 1-year dating anniversary.
Wow.
It's opening day, Richie.
Where are they going?
I said to you, sweetie, it's opening day. You're going to,
bring the guy to.
We're going to go have a little hot dogs or something, a fancy dinner. So who's fitting in? If you watched the show before us, guilty to do it. Yep. Bridget Kavanaugh. Who is a very good player.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, having Bridget there. We'll miss Livy, but we move forward. I was saying to you before.
Yeah.
I said to you, Richie.
Let me hear your story.
Do you have anything rehearsed for tonight?
Yes.
And you said to me, no. I like to work off the cuff.
I know.
Right?
Off the cuff.
Well, I want to know that one of our viewers wrote to me this week, and she says, you and Richie have such a nice chemistry.
Wow.
Do you rehearse for the show?
Right.
And I said, you know what? We don't. And she goes, well, it seems that way.
Right. Very rehearsed.
So the chemistry's good, but we're a mess, I think she's saying.
It is.
You know what?
We're polished, unpolished. Right? We're polished at being
unpolished.
Right.
I always say I run the show like a fire, right? Organized confusion. If you know a firefighter, you understand that everybody has a position. Like one guy, well, in the FDNY, we have more firefighters than most departments, goes to the roof. He's the roof man. Another guy is the outside vent man. He's supposed to vent from the outside. You see a fire, you see things breaking and water going all over. Right. There actually is a science and a plan, but it's different in every fire. So it's organized confusion. Yeah. Organized confusion. So I have the new shed. I'm excited.
Really?
My shed, I gutted it.
Right.
I had too many guts.
You gutted it.
We gutted it.
And what kind of shed? Is it a metal shed?
It's a wood shed. A friend of mine built 25 years ago, Richie.
Still kicking.
So we had like rats and bugs and stuff in it, and birds. So we gutted it.
Took everything out.
Everything out, and we rebuilt it. It looks very nice. So I asked the guy, hey, how much would it cost to paint the shed? Because it was supposed to be brown, and it came in gray pieces. What do you call the outside sheeting? Not sheeting, it's
panels,
wood. Panels. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. It's very complicated word. You must be in the business.
Yes.
Panels. So they come in gray panels.
Yes.
Said, I don't want gray. I wanted brown, but tan, because the fence is tan, the house is tan.
So you can paint it.
Right. So I said, how much? The guy says, $1,400 to paint the floor. I didn't need the shelves painted. He said, and the outside. And my daughter's standing there, and she goes, Darn,
I could do it.
I could do it for you.
Oops.
But then she's on a mission now where it's important to her to do it. So I can't say no. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It may be therapeutic for her, whatever she wanted, she wanted to paint it. Day 1 of 6. Day 1, she starts to paint the shed. Has a little argument with somebody and leaves. The paint cans are open. There's like paint on the floor. There's actually a line from the shed going down my driveway to the garbage pail that was in the curb, right? So
from the roller.
From whatever. I don't know. I didn't ask. So now, if you come up my block, my shed is tan. But if you come down my block, it's still gray.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the job still isn't done, but I'm not going to say anything. Christina Marie wants to do it, so we'll let her do it.
And you can't finish it. You're not tempted to go out there and just finish it?
Richie, to be honest, this is me. I would leave it that way forever.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
You know what I did in my house?
It's not going to bother me.
I don't know how to explain this, but going up the staircase in my house, right? And the ceiling goes way high, right? And I never figured out how to put the scaffolding up or whatever.
Right.
So it's got like a line that goes up, and it's like 6 feet up, painted, and the rest is how it was when I moved in.
And your wife, that doesn't bother your wife?
She don't care? I said it looks modern looking.
Yeah, it's a style.
Yeah.
I actually can stop. When we lived in the apartment, we painted our apartment when we first got married.
Yeah.
And there was like this much left to do. And I said,
I put paint on each other's noses.
No. I said, is this much more, and I said, now I'll do tomorrow.
Right.
It was like this much. And I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Made her crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Labor Day was this weekend.
Yeah.
I didn't do much. I got the pool in the back. Kids came over, 1 or 2. I love my little pool in the back. I go back there and I swimmy, and I lay in the sun for a few minutes. Then I fall asleep by the waterfall. I got a waterfall.
Oh, yeah, I heard this waterfall. It's
not the pipe. Not the sewer pipe going into my pool.
What is that?
I have a little waterfall because I always wanted a waterfall. So a few years ago, please, honey, don't be watching. My wife spent a fortune on a portable concrete. It's like this big, Richie.
Right.
And if there's any kind of, I like running water. But if there's any kind of like bug in the yard, zzz, you can't hear the running water. That's how small it is.
Oh.
If there's like a little buzz, I'm like, oh, that's nice. So that was my Labor Day. What did you do?
Nothing.
Okay, thanks for bringing that to the table.
I know it's yes
Nothing.
and it's yes and.
You know what that reminds me of?
Oh,
you're gonna give me something?
Yeah.
Go.
I had a private engagement party on Sunday, a backyard party. It was a lot of fun.
Congratulations on your engagement.
I did a half hour. They didn't ask me to leave earlier than that. Usually.
Why did you look at me like that? Because you bringing back the story.
I get 15 minutes. They're like this.
That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. And they weren't even eating. I knew they ate already.
They ate already.
And they went like this. They thought I didn't see them still eating when I got there. They went, hey, John, that's enough. We're going to eat. I go, didn't they just eat? And they went,
yeah.
I got paid, though.
And Monday we didn't do nothing.
That's a good
My wife worked, and I...
she worked?
Yes, she worked.
And what do you... If your wife is working and you're home, is there any kind of smile on your face, like I get to do what I want?
Well, I have a new joke in my act. Tell me.
Oh, good. Funny. You need some.
So I woke up. I knew it was going to be a beautiful day.
Yes.
And I stretched. My back wasn't hurting anymore. I go over to the window. I open up the drapes. The sun's shining. Sky is blue. My wife's car is gone. I knew it was going to be. Do you understand? It's a win-win day.
Yes, I understand.
Win-win.
You love your wife, but I understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
You could breathe a little bit.
Yeah. So you had a nice day.
Yes.
Good.
I went and played the scratch off site because they couldn't lose.
No, yeah. All right, we're gonna go to break, and we're gonna bring back our first guest, Michael Barasch. Yeah.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
We're back with
I was letting you do it all by yourself.
Oh, we're back with Laughter Saves Lives live.
Strong Island Television Paradise Studios.
Yes.
I was just saying that with pickleball this morning, I played with that guy from Sopranos again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Johnny Cakes.
Yeah, he does not like
Great
me.
guy.
He does not like me because I talk to him constantly.
Oh.
Not like I don't know him.
Yeah.
I talk to everybody, and he doesn't want to talk.
It's not like he's trying to memorize a script or anything.
No. All right, our first guest is one of our favorite guests because, not only because, he's our number one sponsor. He's been very supportive over the years, and we're honoring him at the Almost Gala, the Virginia LaRocque Almost Gala in November.
I will be there.
Let's welcome Michael Barasch to the show.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, Michael. Now,
Right.
just to clarify, we're honoring you. You're not getting a plaque or anything like that.
What do you mean I'm not getting a plaque?
Nothing.
What
You're
is
getting
that?
you're getting a drumstick, a little dinner with drumstick and some salad, and you're gonna make you laugh. Is that good
Wait a
enough?
second. A chicken drumstick or
Yes,
I love chicken drumsticks. Love it.
that's it. That's
Okay,
it.
we're good.
So we're looking forward to that. How are you, my friend?
Good, but I also like turkey drumstick. So we're good at any.
We'll get you one on
Are
one.
you that guy that goes to the carnivals and gets that big turkey leg? Right? You ever
What
see
guy
that?
is that? Who
You
are
ever
you
see
talking
that?
about?
At the amusement
Disney,
parks,
at
they
Disney.
have those big turkey
They're
legs that they
huge.
sell.
Oh, they're delicious.
Someone told me it's emu. Actually, it's not really turkey.
Oh my God.
That's what I heard.
So
Not
Michael,
emu.
you've
What's
been
it? Yeah.
you've been a busy man as always. You're always busy. You're always
You know,
busy.
it's interesting. I came back. I actually took a vacation.
Good.
Whoa.
Good for you.
Where'd you go?
Yeah. I went away to Nova Scotia, not the kind that you eat on the bagel, but on
Right.
the island that's up in northeastern Canada.
I'm glad
And
you told me where it was.
Yeah, and I played golf with three
Nice.
of my idiot friends.
Oh.
And
The best.
and maybe you can help me on this, or maybe your audience can help me.
Yeah.
One of my friends is my best friend from second grade. So we've known each other literally since 7 years old.
Yeah.
And something happens to us when we get back together. And he's a serious attorney in Atlanta. And he brought his law school roommate, and I brought my law school roommate from Fordham Law School.
Nice.
But something happens when the two of us get back together. We revert back to the maturity level of second grade. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Yes, and you need those times, Michael, with all the
Yes.
stress and all the. You need that. Let me clear my mind and just act, if you don't mind me saying, like a friggin' idiot. Just go out there and act like an idiot. You
I
deserve
call
that.
them my idiot friends.
Yep.
So at one point, and for those of you who don't play golf, you want to hit your ball down the middle of the fairway. But sometimes, if you're not so good, you hit your ball into what's called the rough. And then it's hard to find your ball. So I'm looking for my ball, and all of a sudden my friend Jimmy says, "Oh, Mickey, is this your ball?" And I look, and in my vodka tonic, which I had been carrying and I put down on the ground to go then look for my ball, what do you know? My golf ball is in my vodka tonic.
What?
How did it get
Boomerang.
there?
Came
So
all the way back.
I know. So I look at him and I burst out laughing.
Yeah.
And he burst out laughing, but he had just been drinking his vodka. So his entire mouthful of vodka spurts into my face. So what do? I bend down, I pick up my drink, and I throw it in his face.
There you
And
go.
at that point, he takes his drink and he throws it at me. Now, this is two 69-year-old serious attorneys throwing drinks at each other in the middle of this gorgeous golf course on the cliffs of Nova Scotia.
You know what? You've been around too many firefighters, Michael.
Oh, they
That's
do
what it
that
is.
too?
That's what it is. Oh yeah, they do that too. I told the story before, I know, but when I went to visit Michael
Yeah.
in the city,
I
he
heard.
takes me out to a fancy lunch. Stunat, he has shorts on. He's taking me to some club. I'm like, let's get a slice. He takes me to a nice place, and then I parked in the wrong parking lot that he was going to comp. You know, he says, "Hey, I'm parking." He walked with me all
He was
the
going to
way down.
validate your parking.
He walked with me all the way down and paid for my park. This man's busy.
Wow.
So again, I thank you
Michael,
for that day.
In the future, I have a college shirt. You should know this.
I should invite you rather than that guy
Yes,
here
and I
right
know
now.
how to act in a restaurant. I won't even throw a drink in your face.
All right,
That's
let's get the
Yeah.
fun. Talk a little bit about what you're working on right now.
Yeah.
You know, with the fund.
Okay, so listen, I know this is a laughter saves lives event, and I get that, but what I do is really serious.
Yes,
So for a moment, if you don't mind, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity
absolutely.
to say this, more people, well, let's start with the firefighters. More firefighters have now died of 9/11 illnesses than the 343 firefighters who died on 9/11.
Correct.
Not a day goes by without 2 of my clients dying of their 9/11 illnesses. So it's really heartbreaking. And, the most common question I get asked, guys, is how do you deal with this, such sadness? And it is heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's incredibly gratifying to be able to help a family, to be able to tell a guy who's dying of stage 4 pancreatic cancer, don't worry, your wife will not have to sell the house. Your kids can go to college. The government, after the government screwed up by lying to us when they said the air is safe to breathe, remember that?
Yes, sir.
They did the right thing by passing the Zed-Roga Health and Compensation Act. And that created free health care and compensation for anybody, not just firefighters and cops, but the 300,000 office workers, the 50,000 students and teachers, and the 25,000 downtown residents. So everybody was breathing the same toxic dust, guys. And not surprisingly, and when I say we, my office was just 3 blocks from ground zero. So we were all exposed to the same dust.
Michael, I always say, when I was down there, you didn't see a telephone, a computer screen, anything. That was in there, and that's what 100%. You were breathing in.
Yeah. It was all pulverized. And not only that, sadly, you only found a third of the people who died. Right. The rest of the people were pulverized.
Yep.
So it's great that the government did the right thing and created the Victim Compensation Fund and, more importantly, the World Trade Center Health Program. But what's just so frustrating for me is I made 25 trips to Washington lobbying or advocating for these programs, which are for everyone. And while over 85% of the first responders have enrolled, less than 10% of the office workers, students, teachers, and residents have enrolled. I don't understand it. So, I constantly am asking people, what took you so long?
Yeah.
Your spouse died in 2008 from cancer. Why didn't you apply earlier? And by the way, it's not too late for them.
I was just going to ask you that. There's a gentleman I met the other day, elderly gentleman with his wife. My daughter works at Island Harvest. They donate food to food pantries. These 2 people were coming down, volunteer for a church. Wonderful, wonderful people. And his wife kind of tugged me when she heard he was a firefighter. She said, he was down there on 9/11. I don't know what he did. I don't remember what his job was. And he's starting to feel sick. And he's never contacted a lawyer or whatever. And I go, what? I go, so I'm going to be forwarding you his name. I don't even remember his name right now. It's in my phone.
Doesn't matter. I'm happy to help everyone, John.
Yes, I will forward it.
So I ask people, the most common question is, what took you so long? And the most common answer is, I didn't know about it. Or I only thought it was for firefighters. Or I didn't want to take money away from firefighters. I thought, my mother had breast cancer or my father had prostate cancer. This couldn't have been related. Well, there's a presumption now linking these 69 cancers. All you have to do is prove that you were south of Canal Street. You don't have to prove the medicine. And that's a great thing that the government did. So let's take advantage of that. And if you know anyone, and now I'm speaking to your listeners and your viewers, if you know anyone who was below Canal Street anytime in the 8 months after 9/11, it's not too late. But it's just heartbreaking when someone calls me and they're so sick and they haven't done anything, and that's when they're starting the process. Because that's a tough thing to find witnesses that you haven't spoken to in 23 years, or your family has to call them. You're better off starting now, even if you're healthy. Get your affidavits. And by the way, your viewers don't have to use me. In fact, I always tell people, and this surprises people, you don't even need a lawyer. But most of my clients feel that for the 10% fee that I charge, I don't want to deal with thousands of
Absolutely contact Michael because he knows what he's doing. And, to trip through this on your own, especially if you're not feeling good. I'm lucky. I'm feeling good. Played 7 games of pickleball this morning, right? A number of years ago, I had a little lump. The doctor said, that's nothing. Let's send you to the specialist. That's nothing. Ended up being cancer. They removed it at Mount Sinai. And I went to Michael and I said, hey, I had this. Did you do anything about it? And he took care of me. Not only did he take care of me, but the World Trade Center program, I've been going since they started and have not paid a dime for medication, for annual testing, all because of this program. So, but we're lucky to have somebody like you who knows what they're doing.
You know what, John? It's such a privilege for me to do what I do. And you know this, and Rich may know this too. For me, it's personal. I mean, not only was my office 2 blocks from Ground Zero, and before 9/11, I represented firefighters injured in the line of duty. So I was already kind of involved in a lot of this. And when I kept hearing after 9/11, all these guys coughing, they couldn't stop coughing. That fire department called it the World Trade Center cough. They didn't know what it was. But so many of you guys lost your careers because of what turned out to be asthma and reactive airways disease and pulmonary fibrosis. You can be a lawyer with asthma, but you can't be a firefighter with severe asthma. So the government did the right thing. So we just have to make sure that people take advantage of what the government did, which is creating the free World Trade Center Health Program and the Victim Compensation Fund so that you can take care of yourselves and your family.
Michael, I know a family. The father died, was at 9/11 digging. He's a volunteer fireman from Long Island, but was there every day for Terry Farrell. It was his buddy. And he died. Is it too late for his daughters or to look for compensation at this point?
Did he die? Does his death certificate say he died of a pulmonary illness or cancer?
Heart.
If he died of getting hit by a bus, no.
His heart gave out. He had heart problems after that.
Yeah.
Heart.
So Rich, they have not yet linked heart disease, but many heart illnesses are a result of pulmonary illnesses.
Right. I don't know the death certificate. What
it's all up to the death certificate and the doctor who treated him. Perhaps his pulmonary condition caused his heart to pull. I mean, look, if you look at 90% of my clients' death certificates, and again, I say 2 of my clients die every day. So I see a lot of death certificates.
Yeah.
So many of those death certificates say natural causes or cardiac problems. Well, let's face it, when we die, our heart stops. So a lot of medical examiners merely say, pulmonary or cardiac arrest. But a lot of times it's secondary to the 9/11 pulmonary.
Really what went on, right?
So it's not too late. They should find out. Ask them either to call me or another attorney, but at least find out what you're entitled to, because these kids may be entitled to up to $500,000. That's the
Michael,
average.
we have about 2 minutes. Don't you have a new fight right now? Aren't they looking to take away some of the money or end it in 2025?
So they're not looking to take away, John. What happened is this. In 2019, when Jon Stewart and the unions and John Field and I were down in Washington and we got Congress to fully extend or permanently extend and fully fund the World Trade Center Health Program and the Victim Compensation Fund, they didn't predict how many people would die. They didn't predict the cost of medical inflation. And as a result, we are $3 billion short. So I was down in Washington a few weeks ago. I met with Senator Gillibrand and Senator Schumer. John Field was there. A lot of the unions were there. And we are introducing a bill that will fully fund the health program. We already have enough money for the Victim Compensation Fund, but we need another $3 billion. So I know how much money you guys make on this show. So if you could just write me a check for $3 billion, I'd really appreciate it. Not to me, but to the health
Yeah,
program.
here's what we have.
That's it.
Just Venmo me, Rich.
Venmo? I'll Venmo you. Michael,
Thank you so much.
I can't thank you enough for always
Yes.
coming on. I know how busy you are. We really appreciate you.
It's a privilege, and thank you for helping me spread the word to your community that 9/11 didn't end on 9/11. The fight goes on, and I'm so honored to represent your guys.
Thank you, Michael.
so much, Michael.
We'll see you soon.
Amen.
We'll definitely see you in November.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that can save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child. As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought. All right, so we are live, Paradise Studios, New York. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out tonight. Woo!
You have to work in the hot dogs. Danny, bring them out.
And
hey,
we're back.
We'll let the stage live.
Hey,
everybody.
Live.
Hey, what's doing, big guy?
And we have a special guest.
Big guy. I was just going to call him big guy. Hey, what's doing, big guy? Steve Taub. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Steve?
Well, correct. Yeah, Steve Taub.
Is it right? I could have asked you that before because I still names all the time. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for all the good work you do with Laughter Sales.
Oh, thanks. You've been in the comedy world for a long time. How long?
30 years now as a producer, doing documentaries for PBS about laughter and running comedy shows and things like that.
What is one or two of your projects you've done in the past that were like,
I did a documentary way back when called Laugh a Day that aired on PBS Channel 13.
Nice.
And it was about laughter and laughter's healing powers. Some of the people that were on it were Robert Klein and David Brenner and Richard Belzer and Jeff Garlin and local comedians Bob Nelson and Rob Bartlett and so on and so on. And that aired on PBS here in New York. It went national. And
that's a big time. And what else? Give me one more.
Well, he has a special one that I know.
Well,
then we'll get to that one. I'm building to that one.
I didn't know you were.
Oh, it's kind of like the fireman's ladder. It's a fireman's ladder.
We don't.
He's going to the fourth step, and you're still on the second step. And I'm still just trying to find.
Come on, let's get to
trying to find the ladder because I don't know what I'm doing.
Just to make it clear, we don't rehearse. All right, so give me one more before Richie.
Well, I'll go back further in time.
Okay.
I started when I was a kid. I worked at a video store across the street from East Side Comedy Club.
Oh, wow, okay.
And that's how I used to hang out with Richie Minervini and all the people.
Now, which one? The one in Huntington or the one on
Huntington and Jericho Turnpike?
Yeah, wow, that's now
Papadorino. Right, yeah, it's an Italian restaurant. Yeah. Exactly. No, it's a seafood restaurant. It was an Italian restaurant, then it became a seafood restaurant. Catch something, whatever. So that's where I kind of got the comedy bug. Where I used to, Richie couldn't have been any nicer. I'm a kid making $8 an hour at a video store, and Richie used to come in, rent movies. I'd recommend films to him. Richie Minervini, the godfather of Long Island comedy.
Yep.
And he'd say, "Come on down to my place," and I was to stand in the back, never charged me. First beer was on him, and I got to know all the comedians, and I kind of got the bug. And then I, eventually went out and did the documentary I just mentioned, Laugh a Day, and that's where I kind of met all the comedians.
Yeah. Now tell us about what you're doing here. This sounds really interesting.
Yeah, like as I just mentioned, my background as a documentary filmmaker, I've been interviewing people for the last 25, 30 years of my life, and I really enjoy. It's unusual for me being interviewed.
Right.
I'm used to interviewing people. So again,
I've been in the business 30 years, and you've interviewed, I think, everybody but me, Steve.
In time, John.
I'll get there, John.
In time.
So, all right, so go ahead.
The second half, I'll interview you. And so we do a thing at Cinema Arts Center in Huntington, a not-for-profit movie theater. Yeah. It's once a month. We took July and August off. Rich was nice enough to do it once. It's called Stand Up, Sit Down. I book really good headliner comedians. September 10th, I got Eddie Brill, who warmed up the audience.
Sure.
David Letterman for 17 years.
He's done a few Laughter Saves Live shows,
National headlining comic.
National headlining comic. And then what makes a difference and why it's called stand-up sit-down is the comedian does 45, 50-minute set. There's no opening act. There's no middle act.
Hold on. Now I know why you weren't asked yet.
Well,
that's a lot of time.
When he told
Singer.
Oh, look at the hot dogs. Hot dogs.
Now there's a distraction. Hot dogs.
When you told me initially, you said use all headlines, and he was naming all headlines, and then he went, and Rich Walker was Peter Bells.
Oh, okay.
Headlines.
That was the only time we did two comedians in one night. Peter insisted he wanted to do it with
that was stand up.
And we made it a theme where I showed a segment from Laugh a Day in the life of a stand-up comedian.
Right.
Anyway, so after
the first part is stand-up comedy.
Right, stand-up comedy. Then after that, we do a 10-minute break, and then I interview the comedian about their career. We don't have any cameras rolling, none of that. It's just simply for the audience that are attending the show, and they get to meet Rich and they meet Peter Bales, and they meet Richie Minervini. We've had Rob Bartlett, Richie Byrne. Next week it'll be Eddie Brill. October I got my first comedian who's coming back a second time, John Ziegler.
Oh, we had
in November.
John Ziegler on my show last week.
Isn't John the best?
Yeah. Oh, the nicest guy.
Second best.
The nicest.
Who's the best?
Need I say?
Come on. I mean, he's a good guy.
All right, so that sounds. And this show is what day?
September 10th next week at Cinema Arts Center. Anybody's interested in tickets?
Yeah.
Go to the Cinema Arts Center website. There's no drink, no food minimum. There's no hecklers. It's a really nice audience.
And they got a great little, concession stand.
Yeah, great concession if you want something.
And my whole family came that
day.
That
was nice to bring everybody.
Steve, do you mind if we bring out the hot dogs while you're here?
I'd love that. That's a great idea.
Danny. Now, I talked to Danny this week. Richie introduced me to Danny.
Yeah.
What a guy. Where's Danny? Richie introduced me to Danny. And he was on the show a few weeks. A new comic, took Richie's class. Very funny. He did my show last week. He did 2 funny minutes, and then he did a few more.
And he knew how to get back on the show by bringing hot dogs.
No, so I said to him, you put him right there. I said to him, Danny, just don't get in the picture.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm kidding you. I said to him, get in the picture. So I said to Danny, man, I need something for this week's show. I need something serious. We need something, big. And he goes, how about hot dogs? And I go, okay. We can talk about hot dogs.
But you introduced us. So where is this from?
Before he says that, I was watching the Met game the other day. Les Deegan's in the audience with big Met fans. You Met fans?
Yankee fans.
Oh, that's right. And they were in Chicago. and this is Danny, by the way. It was in Chicago when they showed the Chicago hot dog. You ever have the Chicago dog?
No, I never did.
It has tomatoes and pickles and relish. And I mean, you look at it and you go, I don't know. Pretty good. And Sonic sells them. Yeah. If you want it, not the best, but yeah.
The Coney Island hot dog with all the
so
chili
Danny says,
John, this is a lot better.
Yeah, Danny says there's a place right by the studio that tells.
What's the name of the place?
What's the name of the place?
American Beauty.
American Beauty.
I've heard of American. That's a great pub.
You heard about it?
American Beauty. All right. They're right over here in Massapequa.
Yep. They're like a block away from here, and they're fantastic.
Yeah. So I said,
it's a really cool place.
Yep.
I said, Danny, see if they'll give us some hot dogs free. See if they'll give us some hot dogs, no charge. And so Danny went over there and said, hey, we got a firefighter's looking for free hot dogs.
Yeah, not only that, but they donated $50 to your next
fundraiser. We'll use that in November.
Way to go, American Beauty.
Hey, Bobby, can you throw up the November flyer when you get a chance? So what do we got here?
So let's see. Well, I wanted to bring these because my favorite. So we got the classic, right? Which is awesome.
Plain. The classic is plain? Is that a classic?
Plain. What is classic? So there's one called the Cherry Bomb. Hot cherry pepper relish. Okay, that's what that one is. That one, But this is my favorite. Bacon jam, guacamole, and cheddar. That's the one that is like.
Which one you want to taste, Reggie?
I just want a plain one. I can't.
I'll
try this one. Take the jalapenos.
I don't eat
American Beauty. Really good.
You have the flyer for our big show in November. There we go. We're honoring Michael Barasch. We're honoring John Feith from Fight for Firefighters. They build ramps for disabled firefighters and their family. In memory of my mother, who was the best laugher, Virginia LaRocchia, the Almost Gala, 70s theme. Look at Richie. He looks so cool in a pimp outfit. We're going to have a ball. Please We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for ticket sales.
Yeah, I got
Contact us.
napkins.
All right. So
thank you, sir.
I'm going to taste the one that nobody's tasting.
Well, that's
All
the
right,
one. That's
let
the
me
one.
interject.
This is the one?
I'm pretty
That's
sure
the
they
one.
got the name American Beauty from the Grateful Dead album, American Beauty.
Oh,
I
I
wouldn't
never
know.
thought about that.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's bring
It's a-
Lynette in.
it's a really
Lynette
cool
is on
place.
now. I didn't see you there.
All right, I'll leave you guys with the dogs. Enjoy.
Thank you for the hot dogs, man.
Thank you so
Danny,
much,
great job.
Danny Calabrese.
Thank
right
you,
there.
American. Thank you,
Bring
American
Lynette
Beauty,
in.
for the hot
I
dogs.
see her now. I see that beautiful face. Oh, you're delicious.
Les,
These are good, though, man.
Oh, I'm good. I've had dinner and I brushed my teeth.
let me have half.
Hey, Bobby, can you bring Lynette in? Did you want to add anything else about
tell
the
us
show
more.
or whatever?
What do you want to talk about?
No, we
We're
got
gonna
Lynette, so I'm going to talk to Lynette because it's
Hold
already.
on,
We
I
got
was
time. We got time.
We're still on. So make sure you can go up to the Huntington
Cinema Arts Center
Right.
in Huntington. Go to their website and come on down next Tuesday to stand up, sit down. I'm talking with food in my mouth. How rude
That's
of me,
right.
but
No,
you
that's
can
the
even-
show.
you
but
can
hey,
meet
at least I
Steven.
have a collared shirt.
Yes, he does. Meet Steven and Eddie Brill.
Eddie
He'll
Brill.
be there to talk to people, I'm sure. Right?
Eddie doing a 15-minute set, give or take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then after that, I'll interview him. It'll be a lot of fun.
Such
And,
a good
And
time.
it's just a really cool, really cool theater,
Yes.
Cinema Arts
So
Center.
get your tickets, and they're not inexpensive. And,
Yeah, it's
and have
inexpensive.
a great
No
night.
food, drink, minimum, and it's it is inexpensive.
Thanks,
Beautiful.
Steve.
Thank
Thanks
you so much.
You know what? Hang out. We're going to go to break. We're going to bring up the comic Lynette,
She's waiting right there.
and
yes.
she's hanging out. Lynette, pronounce your last name for me because I always screwed up.
Palladino.
Palladino?
Yeah.
I'll be right back, Lynette. Don't go
Okay,
anywhere.
okay.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that can save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child.
As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
Yeah, maybe you have a question too. Hang out. Why not? More the merrier. We're on. Lynette. We're back. Laughing Stage Lives Lives. We're bringing in Lynette Palladino. Where is she?
Hey! There she is. The proper intro right there.
Hi, Lynette.
Hi, how are you guys?
Well, it's been so long since I've seen you.
I had the pleasure of working with her.
Oh, you
in
did?
Oceanside. We worked together, remember?
I'm sorry. It's like not
Is it
the sound is so low.
We're so low?
Yeah, like it's not coming through my speaker, I guess. I don't know. Hold on one second.
All right.
Let me
While you work on that, we're gonna eat hot dogs.
I need it 9. I can't eat. I'm not gonna eat the whole hot dog.
Okay, I fixed it.
All right. So Lynette, tell us about number one. You had a big event in your life recently.
Yeah, I had a baby.
Wow.
How long ago?
She is a month tomorrow.
Oh my God! Bring her around! Bring her around! Come on! No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And the baby's name?
Marin.
Marin. That's a beautiful name. So you've been doing comedy how long, Lynette?
10 years.
10 years. And
what I said earlier is I worked with you in Oceanside. Do you remember? What was that for?
Oh, that was not my show.
Rescue?
Animal Rescue. My show. Animal Rescue or something.
Oh, sure.
It's a few years.
Yeah. I think the last show I did with you guys was at the Firehouse Museum in New York City.
Oh, that was a good one.
I wasn't there.
That was a good one. Yeah, no, we used the comics I like. So you were in the military.
I am. I'm still in.
Service. You still are?
Yep.
Are you still in reserves?
Yes.
No, I'm good now.
Thank you for your service.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I hit 17 years in October.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you, Lynette. So do you do any material on being in the service? Any Army stuff?
Oh, sure, yeah. And then I wrote a bunch of material when Russia invaded Ukraine. That'll all come out on the album.
Oh, you have an album.
Excuse us, the album.
Yeah, I recorded a special in June. I followed in the footsteps of many female comics recording an album, very pregnant. And I did probably about 10 minutes of Army material on that.
Do you want to do any of the stuff here?
No.
No, why not?
No, it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't translate out of context, like not on stage, you know.
What about the baby? Are you writing some material? Because that stuff comes to you.
Oh yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun because I have a 6-year-old and I never intended to have kids 6 years apart. It's just the way God decided things should be. We tried for a long time. It took us 4 years to get pregnant. So
I think that's HIPAA. I don't think you can talk about that. HIPAA, right?
Yeah.
HIPAA, you can't talk about having a baby a long time. I'm not sure.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
I'm still trying to figure out what HIPAA is.
Oh, I'll teach you. I'll teach you. I'll teach you.
Yeah.
When you start having kids, you start getting a lot more material. It's funny because before you have kids, you write a certain way, but then after you have kids, everything changes. Your whole perspective changes. Am I right?
Yeah. Because I was a comic for 4 years before I had my first, so definitely. I've always tended to write about personal things, but being a mom has definitely changed the tone of some of my comedy.
Yeah, you should become a mom. You like it.
I remember I had jokes when my baby was born. I was holding my baby, and the doctor said, "Look, the baby recognizes you by your voice," because they say when the baby's inside, it could hear you. So I hand the baby to my wife. Say, "I want the baby to recognize you. Start bitching and screaming." That's what I did. Do you remember that, Les? That was a lot of years ago.
Oh yeah.
When my kids
can't
were
get
little.
away with that now. Rich.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you could.
Yeah, no, he could. So it's funny because we must have went back and forth a text, and I gave her tonight's date. Can you do this? And she, I might be able to do that. And I wrote her in as, oh, she's on the show. And Butch contacts her this week and says, yeah, you're doing the show. And she's like, what? I am. That's called organized. See how organized we are here?
Yeah.
See how organized we are here?
Yeah, Butch is a real salesman.
Yeah, right?
I was like, I don't know. I have a newborn. He's like, it'll be 10 minutes. I was like, all right.
All right. Yes,
now, yes, is your other half husband or in the military as well?
No. He definitely is not in the military.
Wow. Definitely.
No, he's very. He plays golf. That's his thing.
He's a golfer.
Yeah, he loves golf. Oh my gosh! In order of priority, it's golf, our children, the dog, math, me.
Man.
Oh.
Great.
I'm not a golfer at all.
I'm not. I was at a garage sale last summer. No kidding. And the guy talked me into buying his golf clubs. I have friends that play golf, and I bought. I'm not kidding. It was a ping bag, right, with all the clubs that had ping and stuff. And I gave him $100. And my wife wanted to know if any games started at 4 PM for me.
I'm not waking up 5 a.m.
Yeah, I'm not getting up. He's like, oh, it's beautiful. And I never did it.
I'm with you, John. I don't golf.
So, there you are. Is that you?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Cool. Wow.
I'm the shortest one in that picture.
I picked you out.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was the last time I was in Iraq in 2017.
Now, I know when my dad went in the military, he says his sense of humor really, really helped him get through it. Were you the funny one in your group, or was everybody just...
No, absolutely not. I have soldiers that literally make me cry. I mean, but the things that soldiers, and I'm sure this is true of like firefighters too, there's no decorum. There's no line. The line is meant to be crossed and destroyed and stepped all over. And so, you know, my like I'm in an Instagram chat with a couple of my soldiers, and it's just the things that we send each other. I'm like, this could get me fired. Like, it's wonderful, but no, I'm by far not the funny one. They destroy me.
We had a guy in my firehouse who had a fire. His house burnt down right over here in Merrick.
Yeah.
And his kids they were not, I wasn't there. They were not sure his kids were in the house or not because it was during school, whatever. So once it was determined that his kids weren't home, they showed up, whatever, the house burnt down to the ground. And he had to put a trailer on his front lawn to live in while they were building the house.
Yeah.
They took the guys to the firehouse 2 days. They gave him 1 day to mourn his home, and and then pictures of trailers all over his locker the next day. Like, no hesitation,
Yeah.
You know what? But that's what gets you through.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're away from home, you're overseas. You need people like that to make you laugh and occupy you and lean on.
Agreed.
No, yeah, for as much as we shit on these younger generations, like Generation Z and stuff, the soldiers that are coming in, I feel like most of them come in so informed about what the Army is and isn't, and they're very. It's a relief. It's certainly a relief. Like, especially in my field, like the soldiers that I predominantly interact with, they're all very smart, very sharp, and they're not about safe spaces or any of that shit. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they're just.
I need a lot of safe spaces.
Would you ever see?
No.
The military is a big. It's a big commitment to go in the military.
It does.
And I give you so much credit. Why did you decide this is a path I want to take?
Great question.
Oh, there were a million reasons. I was in high school when 9/11 happened. So I joined shortly after. Well, I shouldn't say shortly after. I joined about a year after I was eligible. Like, so I've been, how old am I? Fuck.
So 9/11 compelled you to go in.
That was one of the reasons.
It wasn't I think all of the factors weighed equally, but it was certainly a time where everybody was very patriotic. Everybody supported the troops. Right. There was a big distinction between what the government does or asks the troops to do and what the troops do. You know what I mean? That sort of separation that didn't exist in prior conflicts like Vietnam. I certainly was never spat on or nobody held me responsible for the choices that the US government was making, in the years after 9/11. Like, I wasn't in any way seen as complicit. I'm sure some people think that because we are an all volunteer army and we have been for, the last 40 years or so. But I've never felt that. Nobody has ever accused me of anything.
Deployment?
I'm sorry?
Your longest deployment. How long were you away from home the longest?
My first one was 15 months.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was a baby back then. I mean, if you're going to be deployed, do it while you're young.
I was deployed for 15 months right now. I truly believe none of my family would miss me. They would think I'm at Stop and Shop.
No, 15, 1-5. Yeah,
1-5. I got you.
15 months, they'd realize he's not.
It makes the joke a little more potent 15 months then, but didn't work. All right.
Yeah, it was. I turned 23 in Iraq, and it was a very sobering, life-changing experience. Like, when you're over there, there's so much impact that your work is having, and then you come home, and for a lot of us, we kind of go through this withdrawal of like, well, what do I do now? Like, especially as a reservist, because you're coming home, your unit is basically disbanding. You're no longer with the same people that you've been seeing for 15 months every day. You might be coming home to unemployment. You might be coming home to a divorce. You might be coming home to a kid that's not yours.
Wow.
We have 30 seconds, Lynette. Tell us about your album again.
So I recorded an album in June at Westside Comedy Club. It was fantastic. We did 2 tapings. The first show sold out. The second show was really great too. I'm working with a very good producer. He's been holding my hand through the whole process, and he's done everybody. Like, he's done Carmen Lynch, Ron and Hirschberg. He did Nathan McIntosh's. He's done so many people's.
What is it called? What is it called?
I think it's going to be called Richie's Kid, which is a reference to one of my jokes, and my dad's name is Richard Richie, so a little bit of an homage to him, because I got into comedy because he passed away. If he had never passed away, I don't know how long I would have taken to find comedy on my own, or if I ever would have even become a comic.
Yeah, Lynette, we got to go. Thank you so much for taking the time.
So
congratulations.
Good luck to you
on the baby.
Thank you.
Good luck on the album. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, John.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Let's enjoy the hot dogs.
Yes,
thank you, Michael Barasch. Les Deegan in the audience. Danny here with the hot dogs.
American Beauty.
Oh yeah, American Beauty.
And don't forget, next week on the 10th.
Right? Yes. On the 10th, Eddie Brill, Stand Up, Sit Down, Cinema Art Center in Huntington, New York.
Right. Good night, everybody.
Delicious.
Good night.
Thank
Have
you.
a hot dog.
Me, guys.